Let the Healing Begin by Deb Gorman. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole, and it shall be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, shall live." Numbers chapter 21, verses 8 to 9. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. John chapter 3, verse 14. Where do we start? Let's start with what healing is. Definition: to mend, cure, make whole, return to original state of health. That's a mouthful, especially the last part. Return to original state of health is probably the goal of every physician who treats a patient. Since I spent 30 plus years working with physicians and other medical professionals in various capacities, my interest in writing this devotional was piqued. I thought I could handle it, hands down, so to speak. But the more I delved into exactly what spiritual healing is, the more I realized my grip on it wasn't as tight as I thought. But let's talk about it. I'd like to go at it from my experience in the medical field, i.e., comparing physical healing with spiritual healing. Perhaps there are some commonalities we can spot which will open up our understanding. First, physical healing requires an admission. I must acknowledge that my bone is broken, or I have a tumor, or heart disease. I must listen to the doctor, look at the evidence of what he is telling me, and believe that he knows what he's talking about. If I don't acknowledge I'm sick or broken, the healing cannot begin. The same is true for spiritual healing. But let's stop a moment and discuss what spiritual healing is. It's like physical healing, only different. Like physical healing, the definition is the same: to mend, cure, make whole, return to original state of health. The difference is that we will apply those words to the soul, or human spirit, if you will. To mend the soul, to cure the spiritual disease, to make body, soul, and spirit whole again, to return the soul to the original state of health. Like with a broken bone or the invasion of a physical disease, I must first acknowledge its presence. I must agree that, yes, I'm soul broken or sin diseased. If I refuse to take that first step of acknowledgement, healing will not begin. Second, I must agree with the prescribed treatment. In the case of physical healing, it might be surgery, medicine, or physical therapy. Sometimes a combination of all three. But what about spiritual healing? Again, I must agree with the prescribed treatment. But the prescriber is quite different from the white-coated doctor I would visit in his office. With spiritual healing, I must go to the great physician, my Creator. There is no one else who knows me inside and out, top to bottom, right to left. Only He knows what I need to heal completely from the sin that has ravaged this earth and the tiny corner of the world I call home. And when I leave this home for His, I will leave all of that behind and move into a disease, sin-free existence. Now that's what I'm talking about. From what, specifically, do you need spiritual healing? Have you asked the great physician for that healing? Or are you counting on other sources, like self-help Christian books or Christian friends? Will you commit to receiving the healing you need from the only one who can administer it? The one who thought you up